Faith is a wonderful thing that we have in our life. It is something that keeps us motivated to go forward in our life. For some people, faith is a belief or a trust that one has towards God, towards the Almighty, while for some others, it is faith is a cosmic force of the universe that drives the life forward. In this video, we will be looking into the predicaments that George Herbert has in his faith towards God. So throughout the poem, he is posing so many queries, so many questions to the Lord. For example, how should he praise Lord, and why is God testing him so much? And towards the end of the poem, these predicaments, these questions are being answered by the poet himself, where he brings on to the idea of God as the controller of our faith. George Herbert is an English poet and priest of the 17th century, and he is recognized as a metaphysical poet. He is also categorized as one of the foremost British devotional lyricists. The title of the poem, The Temper, has multiple meaning. Firstly, it refers to the process wherein a particular metal is simultaneously heated and chilled in order to increase its durability and elasticity. The second meaning would be that of the tuning of a musical instrument, and the third meaning is the temper refers to the state of human mind. In the being of calm or anger. So these are the three meanings of the word temper. So keeping all these meanings in mind, we have to understand the poem where it reflects the idea that God is the mastermind. He controls everything, and God is the one who tunes and programs or conditions human beings, their emotions, their everyday life, everything. Whatever happens to humans in their earthly life is being guided, is being conditioned, is being planned by the ultimate power, which is God. The Temper by George Herbert. How should I praise thee, Lord? How should my rhymes gladly engrave thy love and stay? In what my soul doth feel sometimes, my soul might ever feel. The persona questions that how he should praise Lord, how should he attribute glory to the Lord through his words, which should be lasting and a strong monument of God's love. The persona wants his soul to remain in that state of happiness, but he also confirms that such feelings are not yet stable in his mind. They come and go without any control of his. Although there were some 40 heavens or more, sometimes I peer above them all. Sometimes I hardly reach his goal. Sometimes to hell I fall. Here, the persona explains his unstable state of mind. The heaven and hell represents the ups and downs of life. Sometimes he reaches the highest spiritual state of mind. Sometimes he would rarely reach halfway. And there are times when he would fall down to darkness and misery. Oh, rack me not to such a vast extent. Those distances belong to thee. The world's too little for thy tent, a grave too big for me. The persona cries out to his Lord not to make him suffer so much. Yet he acknowledges the truth that God controls everything. The world in itself is too little for God, while the grave is a big space for the persona. In these lines, the supremacy of God and the smallness of humans are portrayed. Wilt thou meet arms with man, that thou dost stretch a crumb of dust from heaven to hell? Will great God measure with a wretch? Shall he thy stature spell? These lines again inquire upon why God is taking troubles in playing with humans. Human beings are only a handful of dust for God, that he can litter in heaven or hell. Will
such a powerful God measure up with a sinful human who can't even reach the stature of God? O let me, when thy roof my soul hath hid, O let me roost and nestle there. Then of a sinner thou art rid, and I of hope and fear. The persona appeals to the God to give shelter to his soul and let him hide, rest, and nestle under God's shade. In that manner, God would get rid of one of sinners from earth, and the persona in God's care no longer needs to hope or fear for anything. Yet, take thy way, for sure thy way is best. Stretch or contract me thy poor debtor. This is but tuning of my breast to make the music better. Towards the end, there is a reconciling tone where the persona asks God to have his way as he would know the best. The image of tuning a musical instrument is brought out in these lines. In the same manner, God may instill hardships onto humans who are poor debtors of life to God. God may tune them to make better music, that is, He may make the life more beautiful. Whether I fly with angels, fall with dust, thy hands made both, and I am there. Thy power and love, my love and trust, make one place everywhere. The previous idea is continued and affirmed in this last stanza. The persona says, whether he finds success or failure, both are fates written by God, and so he is ready to accept them. The power and love of God is returned with the love and trust of the persona, which makes every place, ups and downs, success and failures, the same.
Thus, an acceptance to this God's will and an utter faith in God's plan becomes the ultimate theme of George Herbert's The Temple.